Tyrannosaurus rex. The name alone feels like a verdict. Not a dinosaur, but a natural disaster wearing teeth. 12 meters of carnivorous ambition, 4 meters tall at the hip, armed with a bite force strong enough to crush a small car as casually as a soda can. Forward-facing eyes granted depth perception. Evolution gave it the gaze of a sniper disguised as a reptile. And then there were the arms, infamously tiny but comically strong, capable of lifting more than most gym enthusiasts brag about. Hollywood crowned it the ultimate predator, the sole terror of its age. But the truth is more complex. T-Rex was both hunter and scavenger, a creature of opportunity as much as brute force. It claimed kills, stole carcasses, and owned its ecosystem through raw dominance and shameless efficiency. In the end, it wasn't just a king. It was nature's reminder that power comes in many forms, even ridiculously short-armed ones. Triceratops. The armored bulldozer of the late Cretaceous was 9 meters of muscle, wrapped in bone plating and crowned with 3 legendary horns. Each brow horn stretched over a meter long, capable of puncturing a T-Rex skull like a hot nail through wax. The massive frill behind its head wasn't just a shield. It was a prehistoric billboard used for intimidation, recognition, and possibly flirting rituals that would make even peacocks embarrassed. Despite its size and strength, Triceratops lived in a world where danger never blinked. Fossils show battle scars from predators and rival Triceratops alike. It was equal parts warrior and fashion icon, a living tank with decorative flair. When it charged, the earth itself took notice. When it stood still, it was a fortress made of silence. Velociraptor. A name exaggerated by Hollywood, but still terrifying when you learn what it truly was. Not the human-sized sprinter from the movies, but a lean, feathered assassin, barely half a meter tall and light enough to be carried by a determined toddler. But don't be fooled by the size. Speed was its religion. Precision was its craft. And its signature weapon, a curved, sickle-shaped claw on each foot, was the prehistoric equivalent of a switchblade. Velociraptor wasn't a scaly monster, bird-like hunter, covered in feathers and powered by relentless cunning. There is evidence it hunted in coordinated groups, meaning victims didn't meet just one raptor, they met a committee. Imagine being taken down by a pack of angry turkeys with knives for toes. That's not just deadly, that's embarrassing. Brachiosaurus. The living skyscraper of the Jurassic rose from the landscape like the planet's first architectural experiment. Its long neck reached treetops 13 meters above the ground, letting it feed where no predator could follow. At over 25 meters long and up to 60 tons, it was a gentle continent on legs, strolling through forests and reshaping them with every mouthful. With longer front legs than back legs, it carried the posture of a giraffe redesigned for mythological storytelling. Hollywood made it majestic, and for once, Hollywood was right. Its footsteps shaped the world around it. Its shadow could blanket a clearing, and while predators battled each other in the dirt below, Brachiosaurus simply existed above the chaos, the serene giant in a violent world. Stegosaurus. The dinosaur that looked like a solar-powered tank, but thought like a goldfish. 9 meters long, 5 tons heavy, and equipped with a brain roughly the size of a walnut, it remains one of nature's most endearing contradictions. The plates on its back, thin, oddly shaped, and utterly mysterious, may have been used for display or temperature control, or perhaps they were simply decorative chaos imposed by evolution. But its true weapon was the tail. 4 massive spikes, known as the thagomizer, capable of skewering predators with the efficiency of a medieval ballista. Fossils show deep puncture wounds on attackers, proof that Stegosaurus might have been slow-minded, but definitely wasn't slow to defend itself. It was a prehistoric reminder that intelligence isn't required to survive. Sometimes a well-placed spike does the job. Spinosaurus. The aquatic nightmare with the posture of a crocodile and the ambition of a shark. Stretching over 15 meters long, it was larger than T-Rex and far stranger. Its long, narrow skull was packed with conical teeth, perfect for gripping fish, while its sail-backed spine remains the subject of endless debate. Was it for display, heat regulation, or simply evolutionary flair? Spinosaurus thrived in rivers and swamps, using dense bones and paddle-like feet to move through water like a living torpedo. On land, however, it was awkward, its short legs making it clumsy compared to its terrestrial cousins. But the moment it slipped beneath the surface, the rules changed. Here, it was untouchable, sovereign of the current, a half-dinosaur, half-crocodile hybrid designed for ambush and dominance. Ankylosaurus, the tank that nature built before humans even knew what metal was. 8 meters long, draped in armor plates from snout to tail, and outfitted with a bone club capable of shattering legs and skulls with a single swing. Predators learned the hard way that chasing Ankylosaurus was a poor life choice. Its low-slung body and defensive posture made it nearly impossible to flip, and even T-Rex struggled to bite through its reinforced hide. It didn't hunt, it didn't intimidate, it simply existed as a problem too dangerous to solve. Yet beneath all the armor was a peaceful herbivore, a creature that only turned violent when cornered. Ankylosaurus was proof that sometimes the most dangerous beings are the ones that never wanted to fight in the first place. Allosaurus, the apex predator of the Jurassic before T-Rex ever claimed a throne. 10 meters long, over 2 tons, and built for speed and efficiency. Its skull was lighter than that of later predators, allowing quick strikes rather than crushing bites. Allosaurus hunted like a hatchet, slashing down and pulling back to open fatal wounds. Evidence suggests pack behavior, meaning victims might have faced multiple coordinated attackers, each using serrated teeth like saw blades. It battled Stegosaurus, rival Allosaurs, and anything else bold enough to stand its ground. It wasn't the biggest predator in history, but it was one of the best adapted, a living blade sharpened by millions of years of evolutionary warfare. Pteranodon, the flying giant everyone calls a dinosaur, but wasn't one. A true Dinosaur, ruler of the skies with a wingspan over 7 meters. It soared above oceans, diving to scoop fish with its long, toothless beak. Picture a seagull inflated to nightmare proportions. The massive crest on its head acted as a counterweight in flight and possibly as a visual signal to attract mates or warn rivals. Hollywood often portrays it as a sky-born kidnapper snatching humans at random. Reality says otherwise, but let's be honest, if a flock of 7-meter flying reptiles circled overhead, you'd still run for cover. Pteranodon proved that airborne predators didn't need teeth to be terrifying. Mosasaurus, the marine reptile that made sharks reconsider their life choices. 15 meters of pure underwater aggression, armed with conical teeth designed to crush turtles, fish, and rival marine reptiles. It swam with powerful strokes of its tail, maneuvering like a scaly submarine with a hunger problem. Hollywood showed it leaping from the sea to devour sharks, and surprisingly, that's not unrealistic. Mosasaurus swallowed prey whole, python-style, long before snakes perfected the technique. It was the oceanic counterpart to T-Rex, only faster, sleeker, and far less polite. On land, dinosaurs ruled, but in the deep, Mosasaurus was king. Archaeopteryx, the fossil that changed everything. Discovered in 1861, it revealed a creature caught between worlds, part dinosaur, part bird, fully revolutionary. It was the size of a raven, with sharp teeth, clawed fingers on its wings, and a long bony tail. It flew in awkward bursts, perhaps more gliding than soaring, but it was enough to prove that flight didn't appear out of nowhere. It evolved feather by feather, leap by leap. To predators, it was a snack. To science, it was a revelation. When you see a pigeon, you're looking at Archaeopteryx's legacy hiding in plain sight. Pachycephalosaurus, the thick-headed brawler with a skull dome up to 25 centimeters thick. Thicker than concrete and twice as stubborn. At 4.5 meters long, it wasn't large, but it carried its weapon like a badge of honor. Did males ram into each other like prehistoric rams? Or did they aim for flank strikes to avoid brain damage? The debate continues. Some scientists even believe the dome was brightly colored, more for show than combat. A prehistoric sports car hood meant to impress mates. Whether a headbutting gladiator or a dramatic show-off, Pachycephalosaurus remains the ultimate reminder that evolution sometimes solves problems by creating a battering ram. Conclusion: dinosaurs weren't just creatures of bone and scale. They were experiments. Bold, strange, impossible experiments etched into the earth long before humans dreamed of monsters. Each one mastered its own way of surviving. Brute force, towering size, armor, speed, stealth, or flight. And although they vanished, their shadows still walk with us in stories, feathers, fossils, and imagination. We didn't just inherit the earth from them. We inherited wonder,